Namaste, I'm Shiva Swati, and this video is about explaining the fourth limitation of the keys of happiness, which is that why don't your desires manifest? Do you want to know why your desires don't manifest after you have tried so hard? After you are praying day in and day out, after you are asking, oh God, please give me this, even then the desires don't manifest. Limitation number one. It is karmically not in your life plan. There is karma attached, there is punishment attached, past lives exist. If you have done something which can have caused a harm to other people, even without intention or with intention, it will fall back on you. It cannot be helped. For this, you need past life therapy to know what is the root cause and how to be positive, even if that particular desire does not manifest. Because karma is such that it will make you feel positive, it will not make you suffer. It's simply that your mindset has to change of what should make you positive. This should make me happy. That wall has to break for karmic learning to happen, and then you can learn to be happy in whichever circumstances you are. For example, if a person has something like a bipolar disorder, then they will have ups and downs of moods. It is genetic, and it probably rises through trauma and extreme tension. But once it is in, then your genes take over and you have spirit attachments, and it takes several sessions of therapy to cure unipolar depression or bipolar depression. And even then, while unipolar depression almost gets cured and you are in a positive frame of mind, you can be aware of yourself. Bipolar depression is more difficult to cure, and you will not feel a need to meditate from within if you have bipolar depression, and you will not have enough faith. You will keep doubting, and you might have suicidal tendencies. So in that case, you need to find contentment without giving pressure on yourself. Don't take monetary pressures. Do what you like to do. Don't feel the need to take care of others. Spend minimum, in the sense that don't spend to please others. Spend for yourself whatever you desire, but not because society wants this or this person wants or that person wants. So and whenever you are taking extra pressure on yourself, bipolar disorder will increase. So that is so however much you might pray that your bipolar disorder gets cured by medicine or by treatment, till you stop taking pressure which is unnecessary from God's perspective or your karmic perspective, you will not stop having bipolar disorder. Means that if you have been an army officer in the past, or you have been a mafia don, and you are taking too much responsibility of other people, but you have killed innocent people in the process, so you might be born with something like autism or bipolar disorder, where you are asked to take a step back, move back, and don't kill people to help others. That is the message. Take less pressure. Spend more time in nature. Spend more time in creativity. Spend more time in meditation. And you will be good, because there have been times when you have been very high. But there have been times when you have been very cruel. So bipolar disorder comes when you have not overcome that habit of being cruel from within. And cruelty comes when you are in a lot of pressure, and when you stop taking extra pressure, whether in revenge, whether in anger, or whether you because you want to help, whatever the reason might be, when you stop taking extra pressure and allow other people to live and do their work and help only as much minimum that is required, then your bipolar disorder will reduce. It will come in control. And past lives therapy will help, because it will teach you how to take less pressure, because it's going to show you how much pressure you have taken in past lives, and why this problem has come in your life. But if there is something like autism or mental retardation, even past life therapy will not help, because these are lifetimes where there is too much karma accumulated from the past. Like you have been a soldier in several lifetimes, and you have killed too many innocent people, and so you have to sit back and observe and help others, do good to others. And your karma should be neutral or zero most of the time, or positive. You cannot afford to take even a little negative karma. And that is why you have something like autism or mental retardation, where there is no karma coming because there is not clear intention action sequence in your body, and so karma is not getting recorded in your body. So that is why special needs lifetimes are such where you can repay karma, because your body does not record karma. There is a problem with the mechanism. But if your body is healthy and it can record the action, intention, desire, consequence, sequence in the body, then there will be feelings recorded. And if you have negative feelings recorded, you will accrue negative karma, whether you are a victim or an abuser. So something like bipolar disorder or unipolar disorder will require therapy, where you can get it reasonably in control. But something like autism and mental retardation cannot be cured with past life therapy or law of attraction. That is a karmic plan where you have to suffer the whole life with that problem and find contentment like a saint, like a Buddha, where you are not taking action, but only through your vibrations you are feeling positive given the situation as it is. So limitation of the keys of happiness, law of attraction, will be that first limitation, it will depend on your karmic plan. Second limitation, it will depend on the technology existing at that time. For example, if you desire to be in a flying car at this time in a normal road, it will not happen now, but 50 years later it might happen. But you should be in the same desire and allow smaller manifestations to happen. For example, if you are desiring in a being in a flying car, it means you are desiring being in freedom while traveling. So you can focus on meditation in a traffic jam, be detached from negativity, so that you are in freedom. Or you can focus on being in free mentally, as if you are flying in the sky again and again, so that your circumstances change and chains loosen and you can be in freedom. Sometimes you need therapy like past life therapy to break chains from the past, where you have been a slave or been a king, and you have to break chains which are surrounding you at an energy level to be free. Or you can imagine that you are in the sky and you are looking at the clouds and feeling free. So then your life circumstances are going to change, so that you can actually feel free even if there are no flying cars. So initially only the feelings will manifest, not the visual manifestation, if the technology does not permit it. For example, Leonardo da Vinci created an aeroplane design in 1600, and the aeroplane was created in 1900, almost 400 years later. If people had given up on that design, aeroplane may have never been constructed. So you have to focus on the feeling that it is going to manifest, and it takes time, but it manifests. And when the time of manifestation comes, then it moves very fast. At that time, you cannot slow down. For example, if you are manifesting something like success and money, and you've not been successful or rich for a long time, but you are manifesting because you have an inner soul plan which says you have to reach the masses, then in that case, when it comes, it's going to come very fast. And you might have to leave a lot of relaxation. You might have to leave your attachment to relatives. You might have to travel to different countries. You might have to leave your position of comfort. You might have to leave people whom you want to protect when that money starts coming. Because if you stop the money from coming in speed, it will never come. Money is by nature an energy which comes in speed, or it does not come. So you cannot have relaxation and money, that you are free to gossip with friends, and you are free to watch films and TV, and there is no stress in your mind. That you can have only if you are a homemaker. But if you are the main bread earner, if you are the main person who is earning the money, you cannot have that freedom, because money is something which demands constant attention from you. And it will want to invest in that you invest in trades, in stock markets, and it will want attention on advertising and making webinars or writing, copywriting. So it will have several areas of focus, and you will have to focus, because if you don't focus, the money will stop coming. So money as an energy will require that you focus on money by itself. And when you focus on money by itself, then money will come. Not if you focus on your loved ones, money will not come. So whatever you desire requires focus. It is not that you can have the cake and eat it too. It is not going to be there. Third limitation of the law of attraction is that it will manifest suddenly. So if you have desired something in the past but you have given it up, but that desire somewhere or the other can suddenly manifest even when you don't want it. So it is not going to manifest at your mindset. It is going to manifest by your energy vibrations. And even, for example, if you desire to marry someone in a past life, and that person left you, divorced you, went away, and you could not marry. In a later life, when you don't want to marry that person, in a next life, that person might suddenly appear and ask you to marry him. And you don't want to marry, you have different circumstances, you don't even know the man, you don't even love the man, but that desire to marry him, in him, might, that you called him again and again mentally in that life, it is going to bring him into your present life. And that man might want to marry you in the present life, and then you will, if you leave him, then again that desire will break apart, and your law of attraction will be affected because you left a desire which you manifested. So it creates a problem in the machine. So you might have to marry someone whom you don't even know, simply because you have manifested it in a past life. There are problems like people whose husbands die early, or whose children die early. They keep calling that person again and again throughout their lives. So I have a client, she's married to a person who was her son in her past life, and he died when he was 10 years old. And she was so miserable, she kept calling him the whole life. Now she is married to that man because she fell in love, because the energy was inside her. You get spirit attachment when a person you love dies, or when you kill someone. So she had this spirit attachment, and when you have a spirit attachment of a person, that person enters your life through love. So it can enter as a son, it can enter as a husband. So whichever circumstances manifest, that person will enter. This person entered as a lover. The love was very deep, but after she conceived, the love suddenly died, and she could not have a baby due to some circumstances. But after that, their relationship became asexual, and the man lost interest in her sexually, because again the energy of the son took over. So now she cannot divorce him, because she has missed him so much in a past life that she cannot think of divorcing him, and there is no sexual interaction between them. There is nothing like a man and wife, they are just friends. So it is irksome, but it is something which you have manifested, that you wanted this person back in your life, and that person has come back. Okay, you wanted a son, he came back as a husband, but it's the same spirit. So there are several marriages where your children come back as your spouse, as your lovers, and then the sex life dies, it goes away. So that is again one of the reasons why. So however much you manifest that the sex life comes back, it does not come back, because in a previous life there are years of manifestation of pure love. So the sexual life, it does not restart, and you have to live with that person without a sexual interaction. The blessing is that you can still be positive, and you can be positive and love purely without sex, of course, and you can learn to love someone as a friend. So if you cannot leave the marriage because of your circumstances, you can still be happy. So the law of attraction has limitations, but it will not prevent your happiness. It will only teach you detachment, it will teach you patience, it will teach you perseverance. It is not blocking your positivity. It is just saying that your desire has not manifested the way you painted it. It has manifested through a different painting, a different form, because of some circumstances which intervene. So it is not a very predictable method of manifestation, that you have an architectural design, exactly the same house will be built. That may not happen. You have an architectural design, you have a thought of a being living in a house, and the house can be built in any ways. So the feeling which you seek underlying a desire may manifest through different methods. It may not manifest in the frame in which you see. So a son, if he is born as your husband, and he comes as your husband, and you don't have a sexual life with him, it is because you wanted the sun back and the sun could not come back in that lifetime, and it has happened. So the frame was broken. It is not a son, it's a husband. Your frame is broken, but the desire still manifested. So you have, when somebody is dead, you should let go of that person and let the spirit go into light and not keep calling back, because these things happen otherwise. The fifth desire limitation of the law of attraction is that it will only work at the level of feelings. For example, if you are desiring a great job, but you are in a constant feeling that I'm unhappy, I don't like my work. So even if you get that great job, you will not like your work, because feelings will manifest and feelings will repeat themselves. So whichever feeling you are focusing on will manifest, not the desire usually. And you may not even get a great job because your constant feeling is that you don't like your work. Similarly, if you are in a marriage where you don't feel loved, and I want my husband to love me but he doesn't love me, so in that case again your feeling is he doesn't love me and he will never love you, because you're always feeling he doesn't love me. If you want that to receive love in your life, you say I am receiving love in my life, and don't focus only on the husband. Receive love from other areas like your friends, or receive love from your work, whichever work you are doing. Feel loved by your work, like you're making a painting. Receive love, you can receive love from your painting, from your gardening, from your children, from your friends. So don't focus that love has to come from this person and love will come. So it is the feeling which you manifest, not the form. Sometimes the form manifests if the form and feeling are in synchronicity with your life plan. But if you are not such a great creator yet as God is, and you're simply a part of the creator and you're learning to create, you are dabbling in creation, so the feelings will still manifest, the vibrations will manifest, but the form may not manifest exactly as you desire. But you still can be positive, because the feelings will manifest. So you simply have to let go of the frame again and change your frame and accept love from wherever it is coming. And you have to say I love myself to receive love, because the law of attraction will work around the nucleus, your IDF, internal dominant focus. And when your nucleus says that you love yourself, only then it will come from outside. If you say I don't like myself, I don't like looking at myself, do I love myself, I wish someone else would say they love me. But if I don't love myself, then it will not come. And if you have had a childhood where your mother did not love you or your father did not love you, for whatever reasons, usually your enemies can come as your parents, and it can simply be a karmic equation of forgiveness in families. So you will feel unloved from within if your inner child has been unhappy. So you will have to imagine your childhood self again and again and say I love you baby, you are my childhood, you are my, I like you. That is inner child healing. It is covered in past life therapy. So this will have to be manifested again and again for you to love yourself. Only when you love yourself, you will attract love from outside. So again, another limitation of the law of attraction is that it will depend on the support you get. For example, if you want to migrate outside but your family does not support it, you have responsibilities in this country, and your work is not supported outside, then you will not be able to migrate outside, even if you desire a lot. But the feeling for which you wanted to migrate outside, that you have freedom of working and that you have opportunity to grow, that feeling will manifest even if it's in the same country, because other situations will align so that your feelings manifest. But you will need to have a lot of courage to make them work. You will need a lot of detachment from people who stop your success because they want to be around you, and they want to chat and gossip and spend time with friends. So all that you might have to leave for your desire to manifest, because you can spend a lot of time with friends, but then it is time gone. And whenever you're spending a lot of time with friends, you will realize that your energy is being sucked out. Because friends are lovely, they are obviously, you love being with friends, but they have their own problems, and then there's too much interaction. You get drained out, especially if you are an empath. So if you are an introvert and you are an empath, so you will have to sacrifice the social desire of being amongst people to maintain your own space and time and feelings of being safe. Because empaths and introverts cannot be extroverts and they cannot take so much energy. So that is why your desire is decided by your life plan of what kind of traits you have, what kind of psychological traits you are born with. And it is 80% of your desire, whether it manifests or not, will depend on your life plan. For example, if you have a life plan that you are getting married at 50 years, you will not get married at 30, however much you try. Things will break down. And when you marry at 50, you will be happy, because at an age of 50, if you have decided to marry, it is because you want the emotional maturity to cope with a marriage, which comes with age. So then you should wait till you are 50, or you can keep focusing on having lovers, but not be negative that marriage is not happening. If you are not negative, the marriage will happen when it is written in your life chart. So you can get your life plan checked in a past life therapy session, or you can get an astrological report done and you can see where is your marriage, what is written. And being married does not ensure happiness by itself. You need to be positive to be happy, whether you are married or unmarried. So positivity is something you will have to work on, irrespective of your manifestation. If you think that just being married will bring you positivity, it's not going to happen. तो सिंपली शादी करने से आपकी लाइफ में खुशियाँ आ जाएंगी, ऐसा नहीं होगा. आपको अपनी खुशियों पे पहले से काम करना पड़ेगा कि आपका माइंड सेट हमेशा खुशी पे फोकस करे, ब्लेसिंग्स पे फोकस करे, थैंक यू गॉड बोले, थैंक यू यूनिवर्स बोले, ताकि आप खुशियाँ रिसीव करो, पॉजिटिविटी रिसीव करो. और तब मैरिज से भी पॉजिटिविटी आएगी. अगर आप हमेशा दुखी रहोगे, आप बोलोगे मैरिज से पॉजिटिविटी आ जाए, तो ऐसा नहीं होगा, क्योंकि वो जो फीलिंग्स पे आप फोकस करते हो वो रिपीट होती जाएंगी. So even if you take therapy, past life therapy or psychotherapy, you will have to work on changing your feelings during meditation time when the therapist asks you to practice. Because अगर आप अंदर से try नहीं करोगे कि आपके negative thoughts बंद हो, तो अपने आप बंद नहीं होंगे. It's simply like exercise. The therapist, the exercise instructor आपको 100 exercise बता देगा, मगर जब तक आप खुद नहीं करोगे तब तक आप पतले नहीं होगे. सिमिलरली साइकोथेरेपी, पास्ट लाइफ थेरेपी, सब में आंसर्स मिल जाते हैं पास्ट लाइफ थेरेपी में, मगर हीलिंग के लिए आपको मेंटल एक्सरसाइजेस करने पड़ते हैं जो आपको बताए जाते हैं. सिंपल होते हैं मगर करने पड़ते हैं, और कोशिश करनी पड़ती है कि आपका माइंड नेगेटिव में ना जाए. और दिस इज़ अ ह्यूज एफर्ट, बिकॉज इट्स लाइक कंट्रोलिंग अ फ्लड, बिकॉज एनर्जी कम्स विथ फोर्स एंड इट वॉन्ट्स टू रिपीट itself. So you have to block it again and again with mind force. No, I don't want to be negative. I don't want to think negative, and focus on positive, which has been trained in your session again and again. So over time it will become a habit to be positive, and then you won't be able to be negative even however much you try. आप रो नहीं पाओगे, because आपने अपने आप को इतना ट्रेन कर लिया कि आपको नेगेटिव नहीं होना है, तो आप चाहोगे तब आंसू नहीं आएंगे. This happens because your mind gets trained in a certain frequency, and then it is like a computerized mind, human mind. और फिर आपके इच्छा से नहीं, आपके ऑटोमेशन से होता है. सो इफ़ यू रियली वांट टू बी पॉजिटिव, यू हैव टू स्टॉप बीइंग नेगेटिव. देयर इज़ नो टू वेज टू इट, एंड दैट इज़ अ लिमिटेशन, दैट यू कांट बी नेगेटिव, एन्जॉय सॉरोज, क्राई व्हेन यू वांट, एंड बी पॉजिटिव एट द सेम टाइम. ऐसा नहीं होगा. If you want to be positive, you have to meditate on being positive. You have to detach from negativity. You have to understand God. You have to understand God's concept of life and happiness, and then you can be positive. Because positivity is an energy which comes from God. It comes from your life force, and you have to believe to be positive. You will see that atheists and people who don't believe are very anxious all the time. Anxiety बहुत high होती है when people don't believe. गॉड में बिलीव नहीं करते तो उनका एंग्जाइटी बहुत हाई होता है, बिकॉज पॉजिटिविटी कम्स फ्रॉम बिलीफ इन गॉड. इट कम्स फ्रॉम गॉड. गॉड इज पॉजिटिव कॉन्शियसनेस, एंड व्हेन यू बिलीव यू रिसीव पॉजिटिविटी फ्रॉम गॉड. बट इफ समवन इज गिविंग यू समथिंग एंड आप बोलो तू है ही नहीं, तू मुझे दे क्या रहा है, तू तो है ही नहीं, तो वो जो दे रहा है वो आएगा ही नहीं ना. आप अपने हस्बैंड को खाना दे रहे हो, बोले तू तो है ही नहीं, तो आप खाना दोगे ही नहीं ना. तो गॉड के साथ भी ऐसा होता है कि इफ यू डिनाई दैट गॉड एग्जिस्ट, देन पॉजिटिविटी कैन नॉट कम इन योर लाइफ. Positivity will come only when you accept that God exists and allow the energy to enter you. Allow God's energy to enter you, positivity to enter you, and believe in God, then positivity comes. So positivity by itself is an energy of God, and you need to believe in God to get positivity. Happiness, short-term happiness तो मिल जाती है without God, but long-term inner positivity, good health नहीं मिलता है. good health, peace of mind and पॉजिटिविटी, स्ट्रेंथ, इनर स्ट्रेंथ के लिए आपको गॉड में बिलीव करना ही पड़ता है. So these are the limitations. You have to work on the keys of happiness, knowing these limitations, that feelings are the, in summary, आपके feelings manifest होंगे, not your thoughts. Your feelings will manifest, not your visualizations. Your manifestation will depend on your life plan or your astrological report. It will not break those plans and manifest, because they are made by your soul for your own good. Your manifestation will be limited by technology that is existent. You cannot manifest something which is not technologically viable. And you will need faith to manifest. You will need patience to manifest. Manifestations will not happen over time. And I will insist that manifestation happens overnight. You might even die. You might lose your body. You know, if you insist that you have a husband who loves you, but your husband does not love you, or you may insist that you have a wife who loves you, but your wife is too busy, she does not love you, you might lose your wife or husband through divorce or death. Or it can be a life plan where you lose your wife or husband. It can be a karmic plan. If you have killed other people's wives or husbands in previous lives as a soldier, you still might lose. So you cannot say it's only because of the manifestation problem. It is also a karmic plan. So one is karmic plan, one is feelings, one is that you must have faith, patience, perseverance, one is technology. These 4 limitations exist. And 5th is support. You need support around you. You need vibrations which support you from around you. If you are desiring something but people around you are not desiring that for you, it will not manifest, because your electric vibrations, your doubts will keep coming inside you, and you will not be able to focus on the desire you want to manifest. So you need to be away from negativity and people who disagree with you to manifest what you desire, even if it takes a lot of mind control and the ability to say no. So manifestations definitely happen. God definitely exists. Past lives are real. It's just that you need to have the spiritual technology to understand these things. You cannot deny them simply because you don't. You have to study it enough and you have to practice it enough for it to, to realize that it actually exists. It's like the sun actually exists. It's not something imagined. It's not. The sun actually exists. Similarly, God exists. Past lives exist. And karmic plan exists. You cannot deny it. Law of attraction is your responsibility that you create positivity in your life. It is only 20%. 80% of your life is given. But that 20% will decide whether you become an evolved soul or you fall down and become sadder with every moment that you focus on. If in difficulties you become saddest, you will devolve as a soul, your problems will multiply. But if in difficulties you learn to drive with balance, with speed over obstacles on the road, then you will cross the obstacles and you will be a better driver, and you will be able to face more difficulties with optimism in the future. So however difficult your circumstances might get, you have to be positive. And once your mind is automated to be positive, you will not be able to be negative. That happens. So you should not test it, because it actually happens. Hence, try to be positive, and even if things are not manifesting immediately, for example, you want a lover in your life, it does not manifest immediately, just be in the feeling of self-love. Suddenly it will manifest from somewhere. So don't give it up. Be in the manifestation, only then you will manifest. If you give it up, it's like creating a painting and then cutting it, so you will never see the painting then. So you have to know these limitations and then keep working with the law of attraction. Thank you. Please share, like and subscribe.